Hello, my dear students. Welcome to science class. So we are continuing with the chapter Electricity and Circuit. This is chapter number 12 of your science book. So let's see what we are going to learn today. Today we will be learning about electric circuit and switch. So let's proceed. Now, in our previous classes, we have learned about bulb, the structure of torch bulb and the structure of torch. All right. So today we will be learning about electric circuit, which is the main part of this chapter, or electricity, right? So what is an electric circuit? An electric circuit is a path along which an electricity can flow. Okay, so electricity, you all know that it is a type of energy, rather it is a flow of electron, right? So from the source of electricity to the particle where the electricity is to be supplied, so this thing needs a path to be flown, isn't it? So electric circuit is such a path. Okay, so we can make a simple electric circuit by using what? What are the materials required for making that electric cell? Number one, here you can see this is the battery or the dry cell. Torch bulb, here you can see this is the bulb, okay, and two pieces of wire. Here you can see a simple circuit can be made. Okay, now how to make it? Connect the torch bulb to the positive and negative terminals of the cell by using the two pieces of wire. How? Here you see one end of the wire, okay, one end of the wire, it is connected to the positive terminal, okay, that is a metal cap. Here you see this is the metal cap, positive terminal, whereas the other end of the wire, it is connected to the metal tip. Okay, one to the metal cap, that is a positive terminal, and another to the metal tip, that is what? That is the negative terminal of the bulb. Okay, now, on connecting the torch bulb between the two terminals of the cell, okay, what happens? The bulb, it lights up or it glows. Now, why this bulb, it lights up or it glows? Because the electricity flows through its filament. Okay, here you see. When I taught about the structure of the torch bulb, I said you that this is the thin wire, okay, or this is known as the filament of the bulb. Actually, it is made up of tungsten, okay, and when it glows, what happens? The bulb, it glows. Okay, actually what happens? The electricity from one end of the cell flows along the wire through the bulb and then back to the cell along the other wire. Okay, so the wires and the bulb, it forms a continuous path between the two terminals of the cell for electricity to flow through. Okay, so this path, it is called what? It is called electric circuit. So thus electric circuit, it provides what? It provides a complete path for electricity to pass between the two terminals of the electric cell. Okay, so in the battery you can see this is marked as a positive terminal, this is marked as a negative terminal, and over here also in case of bulb also there are two terminals but they are not marked. Okay, this is the case, the metal case, which is the positive terminal, and this is the metal tip, which is the negative terminal. Okay, so when the bulb glows only when the electricity passes through the circuit, right? Now, the electric circuit, okay, in which there is no gap in between the connection of the terminal of the cell is called a complete circuit or closed circuit. Here you see, this one is the closed circuit. This is the battery, this is the connecting wire, these two are the connecting wire, and this is the bulb. Okay, can you all see, is there any gap in between this closed circular path? No, there is no gap. So this type of circuit is known as a complete circuit or closed circuit. Okay. So a bulb lights up when the circuit is complete or closed. Okay. So electricity flows through the complete circuit or closed circuit, right? So a closed circuit, here it is shown in this figure. Okay. In this figure it is shown. So in a closed circuit, what happens? The electric current passes from one terminal of the cell. Okay, here you see, to the other through connecting wires and bulb. Okay. So in an electric circuit, the direction of flow of electricity is taken from the positive terminal of the cell to the negative terminal of the cell, as shown in this figure by the arrows. Okay, here you see this is the path of the flow of electricity in closed circuit. Okay. Now, next comes the open circuit or incomplete circuit. What is open circuit or incomplete circuit? Now, the electric circuit in which there is a gap in the connection between the terminals of the cell, wires and bulb is called open circuit or incomplete circuit. Here you see in this path there is a gap. Where is the gap? Here you see between this wire and the bulb. There is a gap. So the circuit, it is not closed. The path is not connecting. So this is called what? This is called open circuit or incomplete circuit. So in this type of circuit, the electricity does not flow. Why? Because there is a gap in its path or break in its path. Okay. So a bulb, it will not light up if there is gap in the circuit. Okay. So bulb, if the circuit is broken or if the circuit is open, the bulb will not light up. Okay, as because there is a hindrance in the flow of electricity. The electricity is not reaching the bulb. That is why it will not, but it will not glow. Okay. So in this figure, the open circuit is being shown. Okay. So here you see in this circuit through the wire from the positive terminal of the cell, it is touching the metal tip at the base. Okay, of the bulb, but the wire is going from the negative terminal, okay, of the end, and here is the gap, okay, in this wire and the metal case of the torch bulb, okay, and it is due to this gap the circuit is said to be open or incomplete. All right. Now, since the circuit is open with a gap, so no electricity from the cell, it can flow in this circuit, and hence the bulb does not light up in this case or in the open circuit. Okay. Next comes in case of fused bulb. Sometimes what happens, the electric bulb, it does not glow even if it is connected to the cell by wire without any gap in the circuit. Suppose if the path is completely closed, if it is a closed circuit, sometimes then also you will find that at your home sometimes the bulb, it does not light up. Why? Because if the bulb has got fused, at that time only the bulb, it does not glow if the circuit is connected properly. Okay. So when the filament, this is the actually the filament, here you see, this is actually the filament and it glows. As I said you that this is a thin tungsten wire. Okay. So when the filament of the bulb, it gets broken, then the bulb is said to be fused. Okay. Here you see the filament is broken. So in this case, the bulb is fused. Okay. So a bulb may fuse due to normal wear and tear of the filament or when too much of electricity passed through it suddenly. Okay. It cannot accept the load and sometimes what happens, the filament gets broken. Okay. So a break in the filament of the bulb, it means break in the path of electricity between the terminals of the cell, right? So when we have fused bulb in circuit, the circuit, it gets open and electricity cannot pass through it. So since no electricity passes through the broken filament of the fused bulb, then what happens, the fused bulb, it does not light up even if it is connected properly to the cell, right? Now, the next important thing comes, that is switch. What is a switch? Now, if we want to turn on or turn off a bulb or any other electrical appliances, like you can say fan, okay, we should connect the electric circuit. When you are turning on light, tube light or bulb or fan, what do? We just put on the switch, okay, and whenever we don't require, we just put off the switch. Okay. So what is a switch? A switch is a simple device which is used to open or close a circuit. Okay. So open circuit means what? Here you can see this diagram. Open circuit means there is a break or gap in the circuit. Here you see, here is a gap. And closed circuit means what? Closed circuit means that it is a complete circuit having no gap. So we can say that switch, it is a simple device which breaks the circuit or complete the circuit as desired by us. Okay, and this switch works by opening or closing gap in an electric circuit. Okay, so what happens, like when the switch is in off position, okay, when the switch is in off position, okay, here you can see when the switch is in off position, then a gap opens up in the circuit. Here you see the gap, it opens up. This is actually the closed circuit and that is why you see the bulb is not glowing. Okay, so when like the switch is in off position, then what happens? The gap opens up in the circuit due to which electricity stops flowing in the circuit and hence the bulb it stops working. Or any electrical appliances. If suppose if there is a fan or air conditioner, whatever, it will stop working as because a gap is being created. Okay. We are pressing here and we have created a gap. Okay. Now, on the other hand, when a switch is turned on, here you see, if we turn on the switch, okay, then what happens? The gap in the circuit is closed. Here you see, there is no gap in the circuit. Here it is closed, okay, and the complete circuit is met, right? So, due to this complete circuit, what happens? The electricity it starts flowing in the circuit, and then the electrical appliances will not now start working. So, thus the purpose of a switch is to turn on or turn off an electrical appliances by closing the circuit or opening the circuit respectively. Okay. Now, some of the electrical appliances that we use in our everyday life, okay, that have got the inbuilt switches are what, like table fan, then room heater, room cooler, then mixer grinder, lamp, washing machine, hair dryer, drilling machine, torch, television, radio set, microwave, oven, etc. Okay. Now, next thing that we will discuss is adding a switch to the electric circuit. Now, previously when I taught you the electric circuit over there, there was no switch. Now, what will happen? Like if I add switch to the electric circuit, okay? So, we have already described an electric circuit that consists of cell, torch bulb, two wires which makes the bulb light up, okay? Now, if you want to light up the bulb easily, if you want to turn on and off easily, then what to do? We have to add a switch in the circuit. Okay. Now this can be done as follows. Okay, here you see. How can you make a switch? Simple switch in laboratory. Simple. Here you see. So here you see you are having a cell. This is the cell having a positive and negative terminal. This is a positive terminal. This is a negative terminal. Okay. Now the positive terminal of the cell is connected to one end of the switch with a wire. Okay. It is connected to one end of the switch with a wire. Okay. And another wire it connects another end of the switch to one side of the bulb holder. Okay. Now the negative terminal of the cell it is connected to other end of the bulb holder directly by means of the wire. Okay. So here it is connected like this. Okay. Now here you see in the circuit. Okay, this one is number one. Okay, number one circuit. The safety pin. Here we have used a safety pin. Safety pin it is not touching the other drawing pin. Here you see it is not touching the other drawing pin. So the switch is in the off position. Switch is in the off position means what? There is a gap between the end of the safety pin and the second drawing pin. Here you see. This is the drawing pin. This is the safety pin. Here is a gap. Okay. So as because here is a gap, so therefore the circuit is what? It is incomplete. Due to which electricity does not flow in the circuit in this case. So the bulb it does not light up. Here you see as because there is a gap and this safety pin it is acting as a switch over here. Okay. Now in this case, in the second case rather I say, move the safety pin so that its free end now touches with the other drawing pin. Here you see it is touching the drawing pin. Okay. You will find what? You will find that immediately the bulb lights up. Okay, here you see the bulb has been lighted up. Okay. Now actually when you are making the free end of safety pin, okay, touching the other drawing pin, then what will happen? The safety pin, it covers the whole gap between the two drawing pin, right? Now since the safety pin, it is made up of metal, so therefore what happens? It completes the circuit and allows the electricity to pass through it. And this is why what happens? The bulb, it lights up. Okay. So you can say in this case the switch is now said to be on position. And as long as the switch remains in the on position, the electricity it will keep on flowing in the circuit and the bulb it will what? It will continue to glow. Okay. Now again you move the free end of this safety pin like this and again a gap will be created in the circuit. again the electricity will stop flowing in the circuit and hence the bulb will stop glowing. Thus, we can turn off the lighted bulb by bringing the switch back to the off position. Okay, so this switch it can be used to turn off or turn on the bulb again and again as desired by us. Okay, so this is all about your switch. So that's all for today. In our next class, we will be discussing about electric conductors and insulators. Okay. So thank you everyone.